What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining us on Hot Pizza Ass.
Erin, darling, it's an honor to be here.
It's always an honor to chat with you. And, we decided to play a low-key drinking game. So cheers.
I got a beer in your honor. I had pizza before this. I feel I'm ready. I feel I'm set.
You're so prepared.
Mm-hmm.
What should our drinking game be?
I don't know. I mean, I'm used to like every time a word is said, but I don't know, and I don't know how we'd keep track of it. So
Yeah. Anytime we talk about coronavirus.
oh yeah, that'd be a good one. So anytime the word corona, COVID, or virus comes up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is great.
I wish I had like a card game for. I don't know why. I'm feeling like I totally play Cards Against Humanity somehow. You got to figure that out. It seems possible.
Do you want to play Lotteria? I have it.
I don't know how I would. I mean, if we could figure it out. So I understand that it says juego. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'd have to both have a card to be able to play it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and I don't know. It's difficult. There's this game that I started playing called Boombox that is sort of like Cards Against Humanity, but it's like different like songs from the 80s or 90s, and you have to like sing it. Like you have to go like you would go like what song would I love to make an entrance to, and then I have like 5 songs, and then I like put it down, and then you go through them, and like oh yeah, totally, I'd totally go through into I don't know. Whatever song you would go, oh yeah, this would totally be my entrance song, so it's fun.
That sounds fun. I want to play that.
Yeah. Maybe one day when we can see each other in person, it would make more sense, but
yeah.
Gotta get better about the virtual, card games and stuff, so.
I know. What are you doing to like keep yourself entertained?
Well, here's the thing, and I don't know if this is a product of just having a hyperactive mind or being really used to just screwing around, not doing anything. I don't get bored. I mean, lately in these past few days, because of the overcast and kind of gloominess, I really haven't gotten too bored. But here's the thing. I tell people I've been preparing for this moment my entire life unintentionally, because I either, am at home editing or writing. So I'm very used to having a solitary lifestyle for long periods of time. So I'm used to the isolation. I'm single, so I don't need to worry about anybody else. I'm surrounded in an apartment that I designed specifically to be met for my comfort and amusement. So it's freaking Pee-wee's Playhouse in here. I'm having a great time, So I'll put it this way: I don't have enough time to do all the bullshit that I want to do. I haven't cracked open the PlayStation. There are tons of movies that I'd love to watch. There are a bunch of books I'd like to read, but I get so caught up in stupid social media and exercising and looking at my phone, which I wish I could put that away, because I feel that would free up like 3-4 hours of the day at least of like, oh, what's on Instagram? I was just on Instagram literally 4 minutes ago. Okay. And falling into those kind of patterns. But no, I've been having a grand old time. I almost feel guilty about that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think I started self-isolating a long time ago, and I'm just ready. So anyway.
Okay, let's make a bet. Okay, we'll make a drinking game out of this. Who do you think has spent more time on their phone today, me or you? Who has the higher screen time?
I bet me. I don't know.
You think you? I bet it's me.
Really? I don't know. I don't know how we can figure this out. I'm sure. Do you have a way to check it?
Yeah, you can check on your phone.
It's going to be embarrassing when I admit if it said 8 hours, it wouldn't shock me.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But where do I find it on settings?
Yeah, I think so. I'm like, how do I look up my screen time? I thought it just popped up at the bottom. My alert came today at some point, and I was a lot.
I found a weekly report.
Okay.
Let's see.
Screen time settings. Oh God. Okay. Wait, today's Wednesday, right?
Okay. I don't think, you know what? I don't think it has started tracking me yet, because I just turned it on.
Your phone?
No, the screen time thing, the little screen time app, or unless there's something else I'm going to look. It just said, do you want to start like Let me see. I hit. This is going to make for good podcast radio here. I hit the I hit the screen time button.
Screen time.
And then right now it says daily average 0 because I haven't. It asked like, do you want me to start tracking it? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So I think it's been off this whole time. So no one will know my shame.
Wow. Do you want to know where I'm at today?
Where are you at?
6 hours.
It's frightening, right? Like you go. There has to be some sort of mistake. Because I remember when I've just through like the different jobs I've had many periods in my life where I self-isolate. So like when I was in South Africa, I wasn't isolated, but I was in an apartment by myself, and I'd get those phone reports, and it would tell me I'd been on the phone for like 8 hours. And I'm like, what the hell? That is not healthy. That is bad. There is probably useful, important things I could be doing. I can't think of what they are, but there are more important things I could be doing with that time that clearly I'm not.
Yeah, and then I was wondering, I'm like, okay, well, what's factored into that? Because there's a couple things that would make me feel better about this. One of them being I listen to podcasts on my phone. The other one being I listen to meditation apps on my phone. Like, does that factor in? And I did a FaceTime with a friend of mine for like 30 minutes.
Right.
So, like, is all of that factored into what screen?
I would think so. I would think it's like anything that has your phone running. I would imagine. Would be my guess. I don't know. But again, it is just a reminder of how much time we lose and waste just staring at our thing, because it's this is part of why I don't really watch the news so much right now. It's like there's nothing really going on. So it's like once you get the kind of gist of it on the day, you don't really need to go back. But we're also so accustomed to like, oh, what did our friends have to say? But again, there's really not great knowledge coming through right now. So I should put it down, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a weird way to like feel connected to people, but then
Right.
at the same time, I feel like I'm just getting more and more angry. Every time I get on social media, I see something that I'm pissed off about, which is so unlike my personality.
Right. Sure. People piss me off all the time. That's probably my biggest gripe with all this is just the people that get me mad. And the thing is that, look, no one's right. I'm sure I do things that piss other people off, but I get pissed that they get pissed off. My big gripe is people telling you what to do. That's because we're all getting the same information. I feel there's too much information because we don't know what is correct and what is right. But people love to. Everyone's a doctor right now. Everyone loves to lecture you on like, but you could be asymptomatically shedding, you see, and be spreading the virus without even knowing, so everyone loves, because I get shit all the time because I do like to go out. Now, when I say that, I mean hiking, I mean to the store, I mean stuff that's necessary to do, but I enjoy leaving the house. If it's a walk, whatever. And I get shit about that. And I'm just like, hey, do me a favor. Live your fucking life and don't tell me what to do, and I'll do the same, but everyone's got advice about how you have to disinfect boxes and do the, everyone's just got a list of things you should be doing. And I'm like, well, no, I mean, you do you, I'll do me. Note, I don't have the virus either, so I'm doing okay. But thank you for the advice. So that's what kind of pisses me off about people. So.
Wow, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't have anyone that's like on my butt like that, but I got annoyed the other day when I saw a friend of mine threw a baby shower.
Uh-huh.
Someone else, and she made a video about it and posted it, and in the caption was like, "We stayed apart from each other, blah blah blah." But I'm still like, but that person is pregnant, they're carrying a baby, and the person that did it just had a baby as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Your newborn, you're going to even risk it? Why would you even risk it?
No, that's a little crazy, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that bugs me. And then also posting the video, I think right now sends a very
bad message,
strong message. It's like, even if you put in the caption all the precautions that you're taking, like I made a video maybe like 2 weeks ago where I was just like I was wearing an outfit made out of toilet paper, doing a stupid dance. And even in the caption of that video, it might have not have been the best move for me to do that, but I was like, no toilet paper was harmed in this, blah, blah, blah. And I legit took all the toilet paper, I folded it up. I didn't want to seem like I was wasting toilet paper, and I used all of that toilet paper, and I explained it in the caption. But even still, like, just the fact that I made that video, I was so paranoid that there was people being like, oh my gosh, there's people that are actually, they can't find toilet paper, and Erin's wearing an outfit made out
I'm sorry I missed the outfit. That sounds lovely. B, yes, but that's exactly it. Is that people just seem to want to judge you that you're not social distancing good enough, and I feel, look, I have a little bit of a more controversial point of view. I feel that we have all been scared to such a level that we're afraid to leave the house, and I feel it's a little bit of a balance. It's like, look, I think there's a horrible, incredibly infectious thing out there, but I don't believe that we can't walk out the door. I don't believe that we can't go up into the mountains and hike. And as long as you're being sensible, as long as you're washing your hands, keeping your distance from people, not making unnecessary trip and avoiding crowds, and staying home, I think my odds are pretty damn good that I'm going to be fine. Yet people still, it's not good enough for. I mean, I'll give you an example today that pissed me off. And again, it's just like, thank you for the lecture. And people won't do it to your face generally. I'm getting subtweeted a lot. And by what I mean is like today I put like these masks that a friend of mine had made a cool Jaws mask, and it had a shining mask.
Cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah, and so I posted on social media, A, as a promotion to my friend, and B, just because like I think they're cool. And I saw a friend who posted like, yeah, nice mask, and then later I see that he posted like 30 minutes later, like, cute masks, but you should just stay at home. And it wasn't directed at me necessarily, but I'm like, wait, you just saw my post within 30 minutes, and then you just posted this other thing about how I should just stay home. And I'm like, hey, once again, mind your own fucking business. I'm going to fucking go out and go to the supermarket because, call me crazy. I am a bit of an addict of food. I do need to eat. These are important things. So I go to the store, and there's a couple essentials that I may need. Only essential stores are open, so it's not like I'm going to Macy's for a shopping spree here. But I still get the attitude and the shit. And then also for hiking, I was shamed many times for hiking. Because they've closed all the hiking trails, but I would still try to find the ones that were still open, and they would be dead. They would be so empty. But still, I'd get and I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? It's like it's not a disease that the wind has. It's people. You need to avoid people, and if you're taking the proper precautions, then I think we don't have to be so afraid of it as we are, because I think everyone is crippled with fear. And when social media, it's all you see, and when the news, it's all you see, then it presents it that it's like this monster that's going to kill you outside your door. And it's like, no, it actually, if you're careful and you're cautious, odds are you're probably not going to get it, but obviously, and then that's by no means am I saying, oh, look, go test the theory, go out and hang out. I'm saying do your part, stay home, but be sensible. But if you're sensible and following directions, if you will, I don't think you need to be so scared about it. So anyway, so that's been kind of what's gotten me through for a lot of it. But everyone, and again, the other thing is also, if other people's way is to freak out, providing they're not directly freaking out at me, because I've had certain family members that love to text me lots of misinformation and just panic. Oh. That's what I hate, is people that are spreading panic. That I don't think is good. But whatever gets us by right now, whatever floats your boat, whatever. If it's pizza, if it's booze, if it's whatever, just do your thing. This sucks. We're doing all our best to get through it, so.
Yeah,
it's a good time to be you, to just be yourself.
Yeah, I got yelled at for, I made a video at the very beginning of this whole thing where I interviewed an endocrinologist, and I did it on the podcast. I did a live stream, and I released that video content, and I'm telling you, like at the very beginning, like the first week, it might have been before we were officially on lockdown.
Right.
And people were mad at me for touching my face on the live stream.
Yeah, no, but that's another thing, is that we're all like, we're all going to come out of this like weirdos. We're all going to be skittish of each other, and because let's say, okay, May 12th is the day, let's say, when we're hoping. They say, okay, you can slowly go back about life. We're all still going to be freaked out and kind of waving at each other from afar and wiping down everything and washing our own hands, and being, totally freaked out. So it's like there's a long way to go, and I think we're going to be kind of permanently changed for a while,
Yeah.
The handshake, I think, is a thing of the past, for instance. I think that's going to be gone.
Man, I love the handshake.
I'm big on the hug. I'm going to miss the hug. You know how long it's been since I've had a hug? It fucking sucks. Like,
All right.
it's like 2 months. I think I haven't had a hug in 2 months, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, so that's a bummer. So, but we may have to give way to that for a little while, so.
Until there's a vaccine.
There's a vaccine and we all have it, and and who knows how long that's going to take to process it, to get it out, to distribute it, to get it administered to everybody. I mean, that could be 6 months just in itself after they find it, and release it. So
absolutely. Anyway. Well, oh gosh, well,
Corona's here to stay. Yay! That's sarcasm. I'm not happy about that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You have been actually doing a lot of cool stuff though. I've seen like you've had some awesome videos go up that have kind of gotten some heat. You got some press. You were in Entertainment Weekly. That was
super surprising. Look, I for whatever reason, and it's the filmmaker in me. It's like I've been making a movie since I was a little kid. So the Instagram, movies, and I think I largely learned it from you, to be honest. I think you were the one that showed me the credits and how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but anyway. But I was always, I guess it really started with Snapchat. I wasn't on it though, but I always just really took to the idea that, and I think we take it for granted that we have a little movie studio in our pocket, and I was a kid, I had to get like Super 8 film or my dad's camera, and you had to develop film and you had to cut it, by hand, or like you use a video editor or whatever, but it took people, it took equipment, it took stuff. And then because of the iPhone and because of things like Vine, Snapchat, Instagram, and now TikTok, which I know nothing about. I feel I should be on it, but I know nothing about it. I feel my stuff would play well to the TikTok crowd. I think. I don't know. But anyway, I just sort of, and probably the narcissist in me always felt like I should have a TV show. And so I started using my Instagram a long time ago as just sort of my way to communicate with my friends, to kind of like, this is what I'm doing. And I always felt like, okay, when I do fun things and crazy shit, I will show that. I will give my little quips. I will kind of go on, and it's gone well. People enjoy them, and people have been going on. But I always had this idea that it would be funny, and I really didn't mean it to go any bigger than this, that it would be funny that one day you're watching one of my Instagram stories and then something just supernatural or weird happens in it, and you kind of like, oh, that's odd, and then it kind of keeps going, and then it keeps kind of getting bigger, and then it starts kind of going into a movie, and I just thought that would be funny if like you just sort of stumble on that one day, and then it kind of just turns into this big thing. So lo and behold, a pandemic sweeps the nation, and for the first time ever in life, I don't have to be guilty or feel guilty about being unemployed. And I think that's part of the reason I don't have such a hard time with this. Like I mentioned, I've been seasoned for it, but at the same time, it's sort of like for a while I'm like, wait, you want me to stay home and do nothing? Like really? And usually I have day jobs or I have a project I could be working on, but my day job of being an editor, this is part of the reason I always chose that, is because there was job security. As long as they were filming stuff, there was stuff to edit. But surprise, all it takes is a crisis, and all of a sudden they're not filming things. Therefore, there is no jobs to edit. Therefore, I cannot fucking do anything. I literally have no other skills. The things that pay me, I either can edit, write, direct, or act. That's it. That's all I got. Like those are all my jobs, and I can't do any of them right now. So usually when I'm unemployed, I feel this tremendous pressure and I'm immensely unhappy, but right now this is what is asked of us, is to not do anything. So I suddenly felt like, oh, this dream I had of doing an elaborate Instagram movie, I can do this. And so I did. So as you know, I am a avid toy collector. I have a lot of stuff around the house, and I don't know if you know this. I've been acting more in different like projects and stuff, and I was like, well, fuck it. I will do a one man movie that is just me. I will play all the parts, and I will try to make it a special effects spectacular in the body of my Instagram movie. And I did, and everyone like freaked out. Like, and it really was a joy to watch, because you're watching the progression, and as I'm sure those who have not seen it, is about a Guillermo del Toro action figure that's stealing my cookies. And so, it would start with like this, oh my God, as it's stuff. But then as it gets weirder and weirder, you're just seeing people like freak out going, oh my God. And so then the next thing is I was just getting tagged like crazy about like, you've got to see like the best Instagram story ever. And pretty soon that was that. And the downside is it only lasts 24 hours, but the reaction was so huge that I was like, all right, I'm going to put it on Twitter. I'll put it on Facebook. And the next thing I know, within 24 hours of that, it's on Entertainment Weekly. It's on Gizmodo. It's on Bloody Disgusting and Joe Blow, and just a ton of websites picked it up. Guillermo del Toro retweeted it. And it's honestly, and no bullshit, I feel I got more encouragement and acknowledgement and pats on the back than my last like 2 features, and that's crazy, because it's just like I was just screwing around. I really wasn't trying to like get a lot of people's attention. I was just trying to entertain my friends. And it's weird when all of a sudden like something like that gets a bunch of notice and they go, oh my God, that's so great. And I was like, I was just screwing around with my shit, but I'm glad you liked it. And certainly it's encouraged me to do more. And now I should do, focus on jobs that can potentially pay me, like writing scripts and stuff like that. But I gotta admit, like, I am completely taken by what I'm going to do next, and that's all I think about right now, is planning out the next one. So and unfortunately I literally have like 4 that I have ideas for, and I'm having just a hard time deciding. I don't know which one to do, so yeah, so I don't know. So we'll see how long it lasts for, and hopefully I don't get too depressed, because that will take me out of it. But it's a great way, and I recommend it to everyone. It's a great way to get your mind off things. It's like, make a movie. Like, you're so focused on how you look, and if this is coming off well, and if this is going to read well or play well, and you're so focused on that stuff that you just kind of forget that, like, oh yeah, the world is fucked, just in a really shitty place. But right now I've got an adventure, and I've got a director to stop. So anyway.
That's awesome. I want to do one. I want to make a one woman movie.
You should. I don't know. I feel it's possible. I feel that the tools are all there. Now it's kind of the challenge of how creative can one be in the space that they have, so.
That's so cool. Yeah, and I loved your Jackson 5 one.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I've been doing just different ones that, I don't know. I started off, I think what really kicked it off was the Gal Gadot Imagine video. And so I did one with puppets, that we all sang Imagine around the house. And then that got like a lot of good reaction and just a good feedback. So I was sort of encouraged to like, okay, I'll do another one. So then I did another one where I interviewed the coronavirus, and that seemed to go well enough. Not great, but good enough that it kind of kept going. And then every day people write to me and go, please keep it up. You cheer me up every day. You put a smile on my face. Thank you. These are such weird times. We really appreciate you trying to entertain us. And a few things have gotten me when people are telling you that, and then someone else said, like, they showed the Guillermo sketch to their kid, and their kid's reaction was just like, "Mommy, I want more." I suddenly felt this pressure that, like, yeah, okay, look, I mean, it's easy for me to screw around with my toys and make more movies. I'd be happy to do it. So I'm just trying to figure it out, and really, I have no idea where it's going to go, but at least in my head, at the time I'm here, I'm starring in my own blockbuster that, that exists only in my head, and really, I feel I'm going to just sort of like play out loud for you guys as best I can. So
I love it. I can't wait for the next one.
yeah. It should be. I hope it works. I mean, that's the other thing is the first one was so off the cuff and there was no pressure at all. I was just like figuring it. I was doing for like 200 people or something like that. This time now I feel like because I really am like, well, what worked about that? Why did people react to it so much? So so that's the thing you're trying to figure out. So I hope I don't screw it up. So I'm going to try to be as pure and just creative and just really kind of go off. But it really comes from a place of being a kid and going back to playing as a kid. And when you were a kid, it's like you imagined all the stuff around your house was something that it wasn't. Your bedroom was a castle or a kingdom and all that kind of thing. And it's like, well, look, people will go along with the fantasy, and there's enough weird shit on Instagram as far as filters and stuff like that you can do all sorts of little kind of weird gags and bits, and so I'm just like, all right, let me explore this. Let me just really challenge my imagination of like how far I can take this. So we'll see. No pressure. But honestly, actually, in some ways, there isn't any pressure because if I fail, who cares? And if I succeed, hopefully, best case scenario, I entertain a bunch of people, and that would be great. So
Yeah, no, people need it right now.
that's the thing is like there's no new television. I also realized that I think the reason it got a lot of attention is that it's a slow news day. No one's making stuff. And I guess it is a little surprising to me that there aren't, and maybe they'll start rolling out, but there aren't more short movies of people in there because we don't have anything to do. I mean, I know myself and most of my friends are unemployed. And we can work on our own projects. But the funny thing is that like my manager got so excited about the short that, she was like, you need to focus on that and make more of those. And I'm like, what are we going to do with them? And she's like, I don't know. We'll figure that out, but just keep making them. So in some ways, I kind of have a mandate now to to make more. So eventually, look, they're all going to stop, and when two things are going to happen: whenever we can go outside again, it's going to stop, and whenever I run out of money, which will be not too long from now, I think those are going to be when I'm canceled. But as far as I can keep some of those things going for a little while, as long as that's going, then the show will go on. So
Good.
Yeah.
The show must go on, Mike.
Yes, we try. So anyway, yeah.
Do you
And
have
how has it been for you creatively? I feel I want to say the word Corona because just to make our drinking game happen.
in the time of Corona?
Mm.
Creatively, I'm actually doing okay. I wrote an animated pilot.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah, that I'm excited about my dog. And yeah, and other than that, like I've just been doing the podcast and
Right.
doing Hot Pizza Ask, trying to work on that, trying to get people to come on and talk about whatever they're going through right now in the coronavirus times
Oh, there we go.
And that's about it, really.
And I will fully admit that, and again, creativity and imagination is a very fascinating thing that I can't even exactly wrap my head around, and I don't know if I ever will. I'm only creative about certain things right now. There is a script I desperately need to finish just because it's been on my plate for too long, and I started writing it and I'm almost done, but I have no interest in working on that. And every once in a while, I get like paid jobs. And Jesus Christ, I can't be bothered with that. Like I was like, oh God, you want me to work on your shit? I don't care about that. I've got a submarine battle to shoot. And I literally spend the day kind of balancing that thing. So it is a funny thing. There is stuff that I wish I could control and say, okay, be creative about writing your script. That I can't, but like, oh, but I want to do a dance number with the Jackson 5 with all the Jasons. That I can. And it's really weird. I mean, creativity is so bizarre. Like, I literally am incapable of doing anything else outside of maybe like cooking or light cleaning. But when I have one of those things in my head, it's like, no, I don't care. I'm going to put everything else on the side burner until I get it done. So in some ways, I'm kind of look, like anyone, I would like work. I would like a job, of course, at the moment. But in a lot of ways, I'm kind of like, yeah, but if I could wait a couple months on that, that'd be swell. I actually kind of am enjoying the me time here. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally feel you. I'm kind of like in the same boat. There's certain things where I'm just like, you know what? I do have the time to go through my whole closet, but I don't want to do that. Like, yeah, it's just kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it goes in waves, and there's and again, there's no right or wrong of what people are experiencing. I have lost all sense of time and sleep. My sleep schedule is horrible. You
Really?
know, yeah. I mean, I find myself like getting up well past noon often. It depends. It often depends. Sometimes it's 11:30, but I hang out and drink my coffee for a long time. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then I usually will work on something, either, a job that I have or my own stuff, till about 1 in the morning. And then I'll go watch TV till about 3 in the morning, and then I'll kind of pass out around 4, and then wake up on the couch at 6, and then decide I should go to bed, and then repeat. And I can't get out of this vicious cycle. Which, at the same time, part of me is like, "Oh, you got to stop this," and part of me is, "Why?" Like, so
Yeah, I've been going to sleep at like 9.
PM.
Yes.
Wow. God, yeah, I've been.
I'm
Yeah,
very well rested.
good. I am not. I think that's the thing that's fucking with me the most is I'm very out of balance, because they've taken away the gym, and that's a habit that, for better or worse, like that's a habit I've had for a long time. And I really love it. I was on this exercise program that I absolutely was completely addicted to and was really making a difference for me, and I loved it. And that, of course, all those are canceled now.
Oh,
So that really throws me. And then I try to hike or walk or do whatever. Lately, I find like stairs, like I found like this library in Glendale, that I can run the stairs up back and forth like 25 or 30 times, and that'll kick your ass. That helps. But
yeah.
so between the not sleeping well, between the not exercising regularly, between the I feel just like out of whack with the foods that we eat, because we're not eating for health so much anymore. We're eating out of survival,
Yeah.
so I just know that I'm eating a lot more frozen foods. I'm eating a lot more processed foods. So like the sodium is like, in me. And I just feel like, yeah, there's just a lot more bullshit going on here. And that doesn't make me feel good. So I always constantly feel a little out of whack. And then, of course, as many hypochondriacs can relate to, you go like, oh my God, I have a slight headache. Is that the Rona? Is it the Rona? That counts as a drinking.
Oh, okay.
That was a Corona reference. Anyway, but you get into that. I don't know, how many times have you checked your temperature, or questioned a cough or a sneeze, going like, well, what was that?
Not even once.
Not even once. Oh God. Okay. God bless you. We all function so differently. I freak out all the time, going like, do I have it? Like, hold on, is that? No, that's totally normal. Okay, I'm good. But no, I freak out all the time, like wondering if I could have it. So
Yeah, I'm a little bit more, I freak out more about the germs things. I'm always spraying everything with my alcohol spray, like everything. I'm disinfecting things a lot. I'm wiping down counters constantly. Like that's more the stuff that I'm being paranoid about, and less paranoid about like, oh, do I have it or do I not? I've been feeling pretty good recently, health wise.
right.
So I'm not like that freaked
I
out.
think it's every time I go to a supermarket or something, like the countdown begins for another, like, week or so. Like, okay, you went to the supermarket. Is anything wrong? Or whatever. But and again, I realize I'm being hyper paranoid, because it's like, at this point we have masks and gloves, and we're disinfecting everything, and we're standing apart. It's like, yeah, I think it's highly unlikely, but I still wonder, just because, again, we're all a little off because we don't have a schedule anymore. Structure has been stripped from our lives, so
I know. Has it been a month? This is week 4. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, and I started a little late because I was in Colorado when all this started, and I actually kind of wanted to stay there because it was like, it's nice out here. No corona out here. Corona.
But there was no corona in Colorado?
Well, I was in this place called Grand Junction. They had just gotten their first case. And I was in the mountains, and it was a beautiful, like, kind of Colorado mountains, and I was just like, God, I'd love to get a cabin here and just hang out here for a month. But being by yourself for like a month, like in a different state, not surrounded by anybody, seemed
Right.
like a little like, what if I go hiking and like, twist an ankle or something and like, shit, I need, like whatever, cut myself, whatever it is. That seems a little like dicier than I'm like, well, look, because I was like, look, out here, there's not that many infections. I'm going into a city where there's a bunch more. So maybe I'm better off here. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I'd still rather have loved ones and, people around just in case, and yeah, I think I'm happy I came home. The place is comfortable. I'm good. So,
yeah, I mean, if you stayed there, you wouldn't have made your movies.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure I would have found some other thing to do, but like, there was just so much more to play with here, so that would have been a very different thing. So
No, absolutely. I wanted to leave LA too for a second there.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, Ripkin.
Rip,
come say hi to Mike. Here, let me grab her really quick.
All
right, 1 second. Rip, come here. Come here. Hi.
Ripken. Hi, Ripken. How are you? She seems so well groomed. She seems better groomed than any of us. I don't know.
She got her haircut before the corona apocalypse.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I told them, I was like, make it really short, so just in case we can't go anywhere for a couple of months, she'll be okay.
Oh, she looks great.
Yeah, look at that face.
Yeah, so cute. Rip. All right. Yeah, that's great. Well, that's good because I'm sure we all look forward to haircuts and things like that at some point.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Well, what do you miss the most? What do you want to do when they lift it and go like, okay, you go out?
I mean, okay, so there's a couple things I miss, but they seem really petty because like a health and I feel relatively safe. But what I actually miss is like being able to walk down the street and get a latte, coffee,
Sure.
Like in the middle of the day if I'm having some writer's block or something. Like taking a break from writing and whatever I'm working on is really difficult right now because I have to take a break like within my own space.
Right. Sure.
Or take a walk if I can. But to me, that's kind of like, so resetting is difficult for me. Like switching tasks is a little bit difficult because normally I will punctuate it with doing something like that. Or running an errand, going to the grocery store, whatever. So now it's like, how do I change gears from thing to thing? So I will miss like the simplicity of just getting a coffee or something. And then the other thing I really do miss is going out to eat.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, this sounds so petty to me, but like just being in public, being around people, like the vibrancy of life, especially in a city in LA where there's so much to do, so much going on all the time. Just like sitting somewhere, looking at people, having conversation with someone, catching up with a friend in person, like all of that dumb basic stuff. I'm like, man, I miss that. That's what I'm going to do.
Of course. And, we all have our little things and our little habits that just make life better. So, I mean, I don't think there's too petty of a things. And I think those are kind of the most special things are our little, rituals, our little routines, that the things that we love. And as little as it is, I miss going to Starbucks. I miss having dinner with friends, all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just one of those things that it's like nothing wrong with that. That's what means something to us. And that's what we want to get back to. Let's hope we do. It's weird watching like movies right now because you watch movies, anything made before now, and you see people standing close to each other or high-fiving or, hugging and instinctually now you go like, you're standing too close, get away, and that's weird, so I wonder how much that's going to carry over into real life.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I felt like I had a weird experience like that too, watching a movie that was made in the 90s. I was watching it before sunset. And I was watching the whole movie thinking, this would have never happened if people had cell phones. There's no way two people would have just been like having a like good time together.
Yeah, sure.
Had cell phones.
Yeah, totally. They wouldn't be standing that close to each other if in the coronavirus, so.
Right. Like no way in the coronavirus. Do you think this is going to change the way that we like date or like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really curious because there's going to be a fear of germs and being infected when this all goes out. But there are a lot of lonely people that are stuck in apartments right now.
Oh,
and I have a feeling that it's going to be a very social time when we can all go out again. But at the same time, we have to weigh it into, not to, again, I hate the kind of fear, putting it in a fearful way, but but it's still out there. It's still amongst us. It may be less, but it's still there. So we still have to be careful. So that's going to be interesting. Now it's an extra level of, how much do I like this person? How much do I trust this person? Could this person be Rona free? So I don't know, but I'm very curious. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm very curious how
you
it will affect.
Rona.
Because no matter what, we know there's going to be a bunch of new babies. There's going to be a bunch of new couples. There's going to be a bunch of ex-couples. It's really, it's going to shake things up because, this is some fine bonding time. If you're not bonding now, shit, so I think that's going to, I don't know, this whole experience, I think takes a layer off society, and we kind of focus on what's really important. And I think priorities kind of change, and I think we kind of reevaluate what we need in our life. So I have a feeling that there probably were a lot of unhappy people that were together that when they're like stuck in a situation like this realize, oh, we're not compatible, and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'll say it's been really fucking lonely around here, but but that's why I've got my Instagrams, and that's why I do my things, and that's how I communicate, is just through that. So
This is why we need to get you the Sphinx cat.
the Sphinx cat, yeah. I would love to pet right about now. I would love a little Ripkin or a little. I do check in with your former foster Simon. He's doing good. He likes the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Simon. Yeah, he's got a lot of space, and he's like, oh, my masters are always around, and I get to go on walks all the time, and we watch movies. Like, this is great, So he's having a grand old time.
Oh, I'm glad he's having a good apocalypse.
Yeah, we all should. We should make the best of the apocalypse. Really, I feel that's my message. If we're gonna go down, go down with a smile. But no, I don't feel we're gonna go down. I feel this is gonna be a really weird period in history, a really weird period in life. But I do think it'll be something that people will tell their grandchildren about, like, oh, the time we couldn't leave the house for 2 months, that was crazy.
No,
because it really is. It was a big ask, and it actually is a little surprising to me that us Los Angelinos did it with not too much, pushback. Like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we did good. I feel. I mean, it's part of the reason I think I'm less afraid of the virus. If I was in New York, I think I'd feel a little differently about it. I think I'd be way more freaked out about if I was in New York. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm proud of us. I think our numbers are actually starting to kind of like drop a little bit. And so that's great. Like with our curve, we've been flattening the curve.
We've been flattening the curve, and you can see it just in how clean the air is and everything. It's like we're making a physical difference. There aren't people everywhere out for that virus to get to. So I feel like we're the odds are really in our favor, and I think we're doing great. So proud to be a Californian, proud to be a Los Angelino, and I hope it continues that way. And yeah, I do not plan on getting this fucking thing.
Same.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, Mike, where can people watch your short films? Where can they see the Guillermo and the Voorhees 5 and the?
I post most of my stuff on Instagram, and you can watch the stories there, and that's at Madman Mendez. I usually put links to the good ones on Twitter, which is also at Madman Mendez, and then I also have a YouTube channel that I upload stuff to. So yeah, so there you go. All right. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have some pizza. I do you do it for every episode?
Sometimes okay. I've been trying to cut back on my pizza, to be honest.
I've had a major upswing on pizza. Pizza and cookies have been the two things that all of a sudden have entered, like, have a huge boost in my diet all of a sudden,
Me too. Like my first 2 weeks, I was just going crazy with the pizza. And then I gained 4 pounds. And I was like, okay, so clearly I'm not exercising enough to be eating as much pizza as I was. So I need to kind of like be a little bit careful. So now I'm incorporating things like vegetables into my diet.
Oh, that's good. That's important. Yeah, I am. You're braver than I. There's no way I'm stepping on a scale during this time because I don't feel that's going to do anybody any good. It's like I know I'm gaining weight. I am sure of it. I know my body well enough. It's like I know I am. So let's just try to watch it. Try to be aware of that, but at the same time, not. There's no who wants to suffer more right now. This would be an awful time to be sober, and it would be an awful time to be on a strict diet. It's like, let's get through this, and then we will go back to the gym and back to healthier habits. So
Right. I'm so all about that. Yeah, for sure. All right, Mike. Well, thank you so much and have a great night.
Good to see you, and goodbye, Ripken. All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.